Welcome to the Bambu Lab X2D Quick Start Guide. Before we begin, a quick safety reminder. Do not connect this printer to power until assembly is fully complete. Let's walk through every step together. Before diving in, here are 4 resources you'll want to know about. You'll want to download Bambu Handy for your phone and Bambu Studio for your computer. These let you control the printer remotely and monitor prints in real time. If you're looking for models to print, head over to MakerWorld at makerworld.com. And to level up your skills, check out Bambu Academy at bambulab.com/support/academy. Here's what we'll cover in this guide. We start with safety notes, then walk through a full component overview of the printer and toolhead. After that, we'll unbox everything, unlock the heat bed, remove the lead screw protectors, and unlock the toolhead. Then, we'll install the touchscreen, auxiliary extruder, and spool holder. We'll also cover how to use an external spool and install the exhaust fan. Continuing on, we'll plug in the power, bind the printer using both Bambu Handy and Bambu Studio, and then run your very first print. The guide wraps up with after-print care tips, regular maintenance advice, full printer specifications, and how to reach technical support if you need it. A few important things to know before you start. Always check that the printer's operating voltage matches your region. Look at the label next to the power socket. Regular maintenance is key to keeping things running smoothly. For the best results, use Bambu-branded filaments since they've been tested specifically for this printer. 2 critical warnings. Always use the main hot end for TPU to avoid clogs. And when using the auxiliary hot end, only use the filament types listed in the specifications. Unsupported materials can cause serious malfunctions. Let's look inside the printer from the top. The key internal components are the filament cutter stopper, the purge wiper which cleans the nozzle between color changes, the tool head which is the heart of the printing system, a USB port for file transfers, an air filter, and the adaptive airflow switching unit which manages airflow automatically based on what you're printing. Now looking at the front of the printer, you'll see the touch screen for direct control, a live view camera so you can watch your prints remotely, and a circulation mode indicator. This switches automatically. No manual input needed. There's also a chamber heat circulation fan and the heat bed at the bottom. On top sits the top glass cover, and on the side you'll find the side window for watching your print progress. On the back of the printer you'll find belt tensioners for calibrating motion accuracy, the spool holder base, the power socket, and PTFE tube brackets for both the main extruder and auxiliary extruder. There's also the auxiliary extruder module, a Bambu busport 6-pin for connecting accessories, a filament buffer, a purge chute, and the external exhaust fan. The tool head is a sophisticated assembly. On the front, you'll see the filament inlet for the main hot end, the main extruder, the front cover, a part cooling fan, and the main hot end itself. On the other side, the filament inlet for the auxiliary hot end, a filament cutter lever, the auxiliary hot end cooling fan, the tool head camera, and the auxiliary hot end. On the back, the main extruder gear, the main hot end cooling fan, and the flow blocker. Your box includes everything you need to get set up. You'll find the touchscreen, spool holder, auxiliary extruder, a nozzle wiping pad, filament cutter left and right, an Allen key H1.5 and H2, an unclogging pin, a PTFE tube, a build plate already pre-installed on the heat bed, lubricant grease and oil, and a scraper blade. Continuing with the accessories, a hot end silicone sock, a spare hot end, a flow blocker, an open end wrench, a power cord, the external exhaust fan bundle, and a PTFE tube locking nut. Make sure all of these are present before you begin assembly. Time to unbox. Open the shipping box and take out the toolbox and quick start guide sitting on top. Then remove the cardboard layer and lift off the top foam padding. Pro tip: save all the packaging materials and screws. You'll need them if you ever ship the printer again. Next, grip the top corners of the green moisture-proof bag and use it to lift the printer out of the box. Place it gently onto a stable, flat surface. Keep the bag handy. We'll remove it in the next step. Important safety note: keep this moisture-proof bag away from babies and children. Suffocation hazard. Go ahead and remove the bag, then take out the PTFE tubes stored inside it. Next, peel off all the adhesive tape from around the printer body. Finally, carefully lift off the top glass cover and set it aside safely. Now open up the top of the printer and take out all the accessories packed inside. Once everything is out, remove the surrounding cardboard panels from the sides. Your printer should now be fully unboxed and ready for assembly. Grab the longer H2 Allen key from your toolbox. Use it to remove the red-marked screws and pull out the green-marked plastic fixtures that are holding the heat bed in place during shipping. One important note: do not remove the foam underneath the heat bed yet. Leave it there until the initial calibration process is done. Locate the red plastic protectors at the top of both the left and right Z-axis lead screws. Pull them downward, open them up, and remove them. You may notice the lead screws shifting slightly as you do this. That's completely normal and nothing to worry about. 3 quick steps here. First, cut and remove all zip ties securing the tool head and cables. Second, pull the tool head toward the front door and remove the foam block inside the print chamber. Third, place the top glass cover back onto the printer. We set it aside earlier, now it goes back on. Installing the touchscreen is a 2-part process. First, remove the tape holding the flexible ribbon cable in place, then gently pull the cable out about 50 millimeters. Second, take your touchscreen and orient it so the port lines up correctly. Press the terminals on both sides of the ribbon cable and insert it into the screen's port until it clicks in. Now push the flexible cable back into the slot in the printer body. Then take the screen, insert it into the bracket, and slide it to the left until it locks into place with a satisfying click. The touchscreen is now installed. On the back of the printer, gently pull the cable out from its slot and plug it into the connector on the auxiliary extruder. To make this easier, slide out the yellow cover plate on the extruder to give you better access when inserting the cable, then slide it back in place once connected. Next, loosen the nut on the left connector of the auxiliary extruder. Then take the PTFE tube from the top center of the rear panel and insert it about 22 millimeters into the connector. This is important. Make sure the tube is fully seated. If it's not fully inserted, filament can curl inside the extruder and cause feeding problems. Now push the cable back into its slot, insert the auxiliary extruder into its bracket, and press down firmly to lock it. Once locked, use the open-end wrench to tighten the left nut until you hear a clicking sound. That confirms it's secure. Next, remove the tape from the PTFE tubes on the right side of the filament buffer. Connect the gray tube to the PTFE bracket on the printer and the white tube to the right side of the auxiliary extruder. Take the 2 spool holders and PTFE tube holders from the accessory box. Slide each spool holder into the base on the back of the printer until you hear a click. That's the latch engaging. Then, take the 2 PTFE tube holders, align them with the slots on the spool holders as shown in the diagram, and insert them vertically until they click into place. To load external filament spools, first remove the tape from the PTFE tubes on the left side of the filament buffer. Connect the gray PTFE tube to the upper spool holder, and the white PTFE tube to the lower spool holder. Then load your filament into each PTFE tube, feeding it in until it reaches the extruder and stops. Take the external exhaust fan, insert it into the slot on the back of the printer, and slide it to the left to lock it in. Then, take the bamboo bus cable and plug each end into the 6-pin ports. One end goes into the filament buffer, the other into the exhaust fan. This connects everything to the printer's control system. Before plugging anything in, check the voltage label near the power socket and confirm it matches the power in your home or workspace. Once confirmed, connect the power cord and flip the power switch on. Assembly is now complete. To bind via phone, download Bambu Handy by scanning the QR code. Then create or log into your Bambu Lab account. Follow the on-screen prompts on the printer until a QR code appears. Scan that QR code in Bambu Handy to link the printer to your account. Then, follow the instructions to complete initial calibration. Expect some vibration and noise, that's normal. Do not remove the foam under the heat bed until calibration finishes. To bind via computer, make sure your computer and printer are on the same Wi-Fi network. Don't use a guest network with device isolation enabled. Download and install Bambu Studio from bambulab.com/download/studio, then log in to your Bambu Lab account. In the Device tab, click the plus button, and Bambu Studio will automatically find your printer on the network. Click it to bind. You're ready to print. On the touchscreen, go to Print Files and select any model from the built-in library. Great starting options include the 3D Benchy or Squishy Turtle. One tip: the textured PEI build plate is sensitive to oils from your hands. If you've touched it, give it a quick wash with hot water and dish soap before printing to ensure the best first layer adhesion. Once your print is done, wait for the build plate to fully cool before removing the print. Pulling it off while hot can damage the surface. Regularly wash the build plate with hot water and detergent to maintain adhesion over time. If your model used support structures, remove them as soon as possible after the print. Filament can absorb moisture and make supports much harder to remove later. Your X2D has many moving parts, so regular upkeep is essential. For metal parts, lubricate lead screws and extruder gears with grease, and use lubricating oil on linear rods and idler pulleys. For consumables, inspect filament cutters and PTFE tubes for wear, and replace nozzle wipers and tubes as needed. For other components, check fans and sensors for dust buildup, clean fans regularly, and use a microfiber cloth with isopropanol to clean camera lenses. Full maintenance details are at bambulab.com/support/x2d/maintenance. Here are the key specs. The X2D uses fused deposition modeling technology. Build volume with the main nozzle is 256 by 256 by 260 millimeters. Dual nozzle printing reduces width slightly to 235.5 millimeters. The printer weighs 16.25 kilograms and measures 392 by 406 by 478 millimeters. The main toolhead features a hardened steel nozzle with a max temperature of 300 degrees Celsius, supports nozzle diameters from 0.2 to 0.8 millimeters, and uses 1.75 millimeter filament. The auxiliary extruder uses a stepper motor with a hardened steel gear. The heat bed supports a max temperature of 120 degrees Celsius and comes with a textured PEI plate. It also supports smooth PEI, cool plate supertack, and engineering plate. Speed-wise, the toolhead can reach 1,000 millimeters per second, with accelerations up to 20,000 millimeters per second squared. The printer features active chamber heating up to 65 degrees Celsius. Air purification includes a G3 pre-filter, H12 HEPA filter, and granulated coconut shell activated carbon. Both VOCs and particulate matter are filtered. All fans use closed-loop control. The main hot end supports a wide range of filaments including PLA, PETG, ABS, ASA, TPU, PA, PC, PVA, PET, and carbon and glass fiber reinforced variants. The auxiliary hot end supports most of the same materials except PLA Aero. Some filaments like PLA Silk and PETG CF should be printed with caution on the auxiliary hot end. The printer includes two built-in cameras, a 1920 by 1080 live view camera, and a 1600 by 1200 toolhead camera. Sensors cover door status, filament runout, tangle detection, and power loss recovery. Electrical specs. The high-voltage version runs on 200 to 240 volts AC, common in Europe and Australia, at up to 1,600 watts. The low-voltage version runs on 100 to 120 volts AC, the US standard, at up to 1,100 watts. During normal printing, steady-state power is around 250 watts for PLA and 550 watts for PC. The operating environment should be between 10 and 30 degrees Celsius. The printer connects wirelessly via dual-band Wi-Fi. No Ethernet port is available on this model. A few final notes from the spec sheet. The Wi-Fi operates on both 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz bands using the IEEE 802.11 ABGN protocol. First, for the best results with PLA Silk, PETG CF, and similar materials, use the main hot end. Second, always verify your region's voltage before plugging in. Check the label by the power socket. Third, when heating up, the printer will run at full power for 3 to 5 minutes to reach target temperature quickly. This is normal. If you ever run into issues, Bambu Lab offers 3 support options. First, visit the wiki at wiki.bambulab.com/home for tutorials and maintenance guides. Second, contact support through the support center at bambulab.com/support. Third, create a support ticket directly from the Bambu Handy app. Go to the support center section and tap Add a Ticket. You're all set. Happy printing!